Alright, let me get this volume turned down. How's it going, guys? Happy Tuesday, early afternoon to you. Alright. Just getting this set up real quick. Alright, so if you have any coin or stock requests, just get them ready. Figured we'd just start out looking at Bitcoin right now. Alright, so it looks like right now we're just going to be trading in this triangle pattern for now. I started noticing it last night. I opened a small short position, just under 9,500, and I closed, it actually was pretty perfect. I closed at 9,388, and then I opened a long position. I'm still holding it. Now it looks like we're just under, or actually we're at 9,700 right now. So just playing the pattern, but something I noticed last night that was forming, and you can see now it's actually come to fruition. This is what is considered a trigger wave. This is very, very bullish. As you can see, more so on this blob right here. The last wave of momentum was smaller. And, with Market Cypher, we call this a trigger wave. If this was a gun, this would be where your trigger would be at. So you can kind of see we're getting a nice little reaction rally off of that trigger wave. Let me know in the comments how the sound's looking or sounding. But right now our RSI's in the green. Our money flow index is pointing up. We're starting to. Looks like we're just starting to build some bullish momentum on Market Cypher B. Especially on the top side. This is the bearish momentum. This is the bullish momentum. Check that volume real quick. Alright, looking good. But today's going to be a pretty easy stream. Figured I'd stream for a little bit rather than a static video. Sure, we're good on there. Alright. Just checking something on my phone real quick. But yeah, right now we're just trading in this, this triangle pattern right now. Looks like we're going to be testing. I call it the Tron blue. But this would be our estimated, our EMA. This would be our lighter. So this would be our EMA 50 right now. So the moving averages that you're looking at, the light green would be your SMA 5. And then your darker red is going to be your SMA 10. And on the EMAs, I have the 21 and the 50, and I also have the 10. Your darker blue right here is going to be your 21. Your lighter blue is going to be your 50, and then this right here is your 10-day. See if I can get this off here. So right now I'm thinking we're going to go and test this Tron Blue. It's going to be your EMA 50 right here. This is on the 4-hour. But no, we're showing some nice bullish divergence right now. We're honestly looking pretty good. I'm just going to check my, it's harder to set. It didn't allow me to do it. It's going to take 2 seconds. Oh. It's going to take just 2 seconds, sorry. Oh. All right, there we go. So yeah, but on these on the comment section here, just let me know what you want to look at. Figured I'd look at our, we're going to look at Bitcoin, Ethereum, and XRP, maybe even Litecoin.
I don't want to go. It's already 6 in the morning, and I still don't want to go home. It's one of those nights.
We're building some nice bullish momentum on the shorter time frame. It's actually higher than our last one, so we're looking good on that end. But no, this is generally something. No, this is actually looking really good for Bitcoin. This is really strong bullish divergence. Let's go, let's see. Yeah, just checking all the different time frames right now. The daily's still looking a little bearish, but as long as we get these smaller time frames just start pushing bullish, we can slowly start changing that. Where was our chart? Alright, there's our trigger wave. So this is really what I'm watching right here. We should get a nice reaction. We're already starting to actually see it as I speak. But our money flow, we're looking positive. We're showing bullish divergence on market cipher B. These trigger waves are usually really bullish. If we go back in time, this is a much bigger trigger. You can basically, if this was a gun, you can see where your trigger would be right there. And if we take our price indicator or our price range, we went up roughly about 20%. So if we were to go up 20% from these levels from our low yesterday, why don't you look at that? It brings us right up to our resistance level. I mean, I'm not saying it's going to happen, but we could definitely, because I've been talking about this for a while, we could definitely, even if we have a bullish move up, we could go through here, and then, it would still be an overall bearish pattern, but then you would be able to take your tool, and we would be starting what would be a much larger scale descending triangle. So, I've been talking about it for honestly about the last week. It is very possible we could have a bullish move overall to set the trend for a longer term bearish pattern. Or who knows, maybe we could blow through that and make a new high. Anything is possible. but I do not, when it comes to shorting and starting especially major, especially short positions, I'm not really seeing a lot of areas of value right now in opening a short. But at the same rate, let's say we start that pattern up here, we could go up here to 10,180 where we double topped up here and we could possibly make a triple top. So that's why I don't want to get too bullish until we break that 10,200 area and we can close a 4-hour above it. But now, the target I've been looking at, especially if you're a short-term scalper, I didn't want to get too bullish until we broke 9,600. That was a very, very important area. And now that we're above it, the buying pressure is increasing. This could be a nice little bull setup. But looking at our price range right now, our first area of resistance, I had this up a minute ago, so it'll take me just a second. I'm going to get our fib retracement because we were just under, I want to say it was the 386, but I'm going to double check. Oh. Let's get our fib tool out. You go from your swing low to our swing high. All right, yep. So right now we're fighting, this resistance line is going to be the 382, which is going to be, let's just say, the 9,800. It's want to make sure these targets are perfect. Yep, so we're looking good. So we're sitting just under it on the daily right now. We have our support line at 9,200. You can see where we wicked off of it the other day. We're sitting above it right now. But another area that we're fighting here is on the daily right now. Looking at this would be our 5 SMA right here. It's been acting as a short-term resistance. Every time, honestly, I say that, you can see how it just follows that line straight down. We finally got some upside, but now it's riding us back down again. Just keeps pushing us down. Yeah. So, for now, I think it's very, very possible we could possibly test the 9,800 area. And if we do happen to break 9,800, it's actually 9,850 to be exact. The next area I'm going to target is at 9,180. That was the last time we actually formed a double top. It's actually looking like we do have a little bit of resistance right here just above 9,700. We're kind of fighting that as we speak. You can see where all these tops right here. I don't want to make this too cluttered, but if you follow the dotted line, you can see where we have these touch points. Here, these two right there. We also have these little bottom ones. It's not overwhelming, but it's definitely there. And our 0.5, or I'm sorry, our 382 is sitting right here on this light yellow line. But looking at the daily here, I like how nice and rounded this is. Oh, I'm sorry, on the 4-hour, we have our red. It'd be our 10 SMA and then our 5, which is the green. They're just about to converge. Actually, they have, if we zoom in. We got our light blue. We're sitting just above it. Our light blue is it'd be our EMA 50. I'm sorry, this is our darker blue, so this would be our 21. Our 50 is sitting just above it right here. Actually, I want to get that color changed. Let's do actually. Do we already have an orange? Nope. Okay. It's a little bit better of a color. For our EMA 5, we go up to here. Oh, so that'd actually be our 300. EMA 5. So let's see our 100. Our EMA 100. Be our 3. There you go. That's what I want, not the 300. There you go. Sorry about that. So you have your darker blue. This is our 21. I'm sorry, this is our 21. Our darker blues are 20. I'm sorry, our darker blue is the 21. The light blue is the 50. And then here's our 100. So overall, we're looking pretty good right now. I don't like how these tops are, see how perfectly they are right there? I don't really like it. Looks a little double topish right there. So I would really like us to see, us break just above 9,700 and get some buying power above it. Generally, these double tops have pretty aggressive rejections. Once the market figures out we're not going to break it, they can usually be violently rejected. But we'll see. Let's take a look at ETH. So ETH is looking very similar. We have our 5 and 10 SMA right now. They're about to converge to the upside. We have our darker blue, which is our 21, sitting just under it. And you can definitely see here on the lighter blue, our 50 is acting as resistance right now. But just like Bitcoin, look at that. We have a nice trigger wave right here. So the market right now, we have all the makings of possibly having a nice little bounce here. I would hate to see that this would be it. Because if we go to, if we look at our past trigger waves, see if we can find one. This is one right here, but look at that. It wasn't, it didn't actually end up being that big of a jump. See if we can find a better one. Here's a small one. Okay, here's one. That's a perfect trigger wave right here. We had a nice pop up from there. We went from 131 to that's about 145. That's another trigger wave right here. There's one right there. So, I like how this trigger wave looks though. Have another one right there. So it's just something to look out for. That's why I'm not getting overly bearish right now. So, but targets to look out for on Ethereum, you want us to see us break this EMA 50 right here. And that's going to be just above, that's about 215. So we really need to break 215. You can tell where it's acting as resistance right now. Where these sellers are, they're holding the price down right now. But if we can break 215, our next area I'm going to target is 220 and then 225. That seems to be our short-term resistance right now. And if for some reason we really get some good buying power going in, I'm going to be looking at the, well, it looks like 235. So there's quite a bit of resistance between 220 and 235 right now. But let's just say we get rejected. The next area I'm going to be looking at, this actually can be moved down. It's going to be about that $200 area, that 200 and then 205. We also got this, let's zoom out here. We also have this upsloping line that we've just been bouncing off of before, we continue our bullish momentum. At our current price now, it's about at that $200 mark. So, for me, you really don't want to break this line right here. But if we got, pretty bearish, the next area I would target is that 180 mark. I don't want to go too far down because I do have some future support lines if we did get really bearish. So you have your 200, your 205 support, with your first area of resistance being at 215, right at that EMA 21. Let me double check that real quick. I'm sorry, it'd be our EMA 50 right at 215, with your next area at 220 and 225. And if we got really bullish, the next area I'll target is 235. Alright, so looking at XRP, let's look at Market Cipher real quick. Alright, so we are starting to form, if you can see here, this is some nice bullish divergence we had here, and you can see the pop we had. It's a nice little bounce we had. And then now, this is more of a famous trigger wave as it is in the same blob. And you can see how we're forming these white where we're circling off. Our money flow index, our RSI, we're all turning green, they're all pointed up. But I just fear this could be the reaction here. So it's all eyes on Bitcoin right now. But looking at XRP, we've been talking about it for a while. You have to break that 32.5 mark, and that's sitting darn near right at our EMA 100. And this is on the 4 hour. But if we can break the EMA 100, which is at 32.5 cents, the next area I'm going to target is about that 35 cent mark. And I should just fill in this box. But between 35 and 38 cents, there's going to be a lot of sellers, lots of resistance in here. So, just be careful. This 35, honestly, the 36 cent to 38 cent mark, that was very strong support, and we held that for a long time. That's a lot of data. So, but if we do happen to, let's just say we get rejected and we go to the downside, you're going to have your 30 cent support, your psychological mark, and you're going to have, it's actually really, really strong support at 28 cents. If we can break 28 cents, let's just say we went to the downside quite a bit, you have these two touch points as your last hope at 25. Anything after 25 or below it is considered price discovery mode. Looking at Litecoin here. Once again, Litecoin's showing some nice bullish divergence. They're all pretty much showing it right now on Market Cipher B. You have your bullish divergence right here. we're holding our support line here at about $84. Just gonna delete that. The difference between these though right now is our SMAs are kind of holding us back right now. We have our 10 and 5 right here. You can see where we rejected the 10 SMA pretty good up here. You know, we do have this bearish cross of our darker blue, which is our 21 and our 100-day moving average, which doesn't really mean much right now. But Litecoin's looking a little, I mean, we are showing bullish divergence here, but compared to the other coins, this is looking a little bit more bearish compared to the other three. But nonetheless, areas to watch out for. You really need to break this 10 SMA, which is sitting just about $94. But if we can break that, the next area I'm going to target going to be probably about this 100-day moving average, which is sitting at just about $100, which you can expect is psychological. You know, it's a psychological number on the daily. Let's go to the 4-hour. Okay, I'm sorry, I was on the daily there. So on the 4-hour, light blue, we need to break this 50 moving average right here. But if we can break that, the next area I'm going to target is this purple. See how it's holding up support. So the next area, I mean, you really need to break this light blue, this SMA, or I'm sorry, the EMA 50. But after that, you have your EMA 100 right here. That's sitting just about at $95. And then you'll have your $100 psychological support. But, you know, Litecoin wise, you have a little bit more major resistance sitting at about $105. It's just something to think about. But looking at the daily here, as I just stumbled across it, Litecoin's actually looking really good. I did not realize that I was on the daily when I was looking at Market Cipher B. This actually looks really good, and your money flow is still a little bit red right here. So, you know, Bitcoin could ruin the show, but this is, when you see this on the daily, and the fact we had a green dot here on that really crazy wick to $70. But we're looking good. Looks like we're trying to test this light blue, this 50 EMA right here. Right at about $92. Well, we're sitting right under it. But if we break that, I'm going to be targeting $95, $96. And we're still showing bullish divergence, so the bears look like they could be running out of steam right now. So just areas to think about. You have your $88 support here with your next support area. Let's go back down here. Just want to see if any of these other lines look a little bit stronger. This is more short term, so I don't want to put too much into this. But you have your $88 support, your $80 support. This is where buyers should step in and hold it up. But the next areas you need to target is we really need to break $92. We're sitting about 53 cents under it. And then after that, I'm going to be targeting 95. And then you have your much bigger resistance at about $105. Let's look at Tron. Tron's looking a little sick here. So looking at the 4-hour, the bearish momentum looks like it's actually building here. Our money flow indexes went from green to red. Your 10 SMA, which is your red line right here, it's acting as resistance. So is your darker blue, which is your EMA 21 right here. See what we look like on the daily. Alright, well that's actually not looking bad. So on the daily here, it looks like we could be circling off here. So, you know, it looks like Tron could be running out of sellers here, looking at the daily. We have our famous, you know, it's our trigger wave we were talking about. Our money index is red. The money flow on the daily, it's starting to poke its head in the green right now, but still looking flat. Same with the money flow index, you know, the MFI. But, you know, for Tron, I don't really want to get bullish until we can break our old support that held for a very long time at 270. We temporarily broke it, what was it, last week? You know, but honestly, this isn't a good sign right here. You had a double top at just above 285. So, but you know, Tron, unlike a lot of the other currencies right now, Tron's having a lot of negative news. Let's look at the more closer time frame. So we're still looking a little neutral. This is still early, but we could be in the beginning stages of, you know, starting a another possible trigger wave. So yeah, there's Tron for you. So, you know, the areas to remember, you're going to have your support. We're actually sitting just above it right now. You're going to have support at 228. You can see where we have, it actually looks really nice, these 4 touch points right here. But, you know, Tron is just looking overwhelmingly bearish right now. It's not on this chart, but we're in a pretty huge descending triangle. We've been in it since roughly December of this year. Alright, well, I'm going to call it a stream. I'm going to do a static video here to sum up the stream immediately after this. But if you enjoyed, you know, this video, if you could please hit that like button and subscribe if you're not already. I will do another live stream later tonight. I may do it on Twitch though. And all that information's in the description below. You know, because I do have 2 communities I'm forming. They're on Discord and Telegram. And like I said, those are both down below. And, you know, thank you for watching.